All right, so we are back with you, having worked out our kinks thanks to our superhero, and I said that with a heavy heart, but our superhero Rajiv, he came and he saved the day, saved that with a very heavy heart. I rather give Rajiv a hard time than to commend him for something positive. All right, so thank you, Rajiv. All right, so we are back with you. And we are going to head into a topic this morning, and we are going to talk about should women feel guilty about self care? I already have the answer to the top of my head, but I ain't going to say anything. Nicole, over to you.
So, I was talking, I speak to women all the time because that's what I do, right? But recently we were having a conversation, as recently as less than 18 hours ago, about the urgency of self-care and not feeling guilty about it. It's something that comes on my radar at least 5 times a day, more than meals, more than having the average meal time. And so it started on where a colleague and a pair from Jamaica had posted on LinkedIn a very concerning discussion around someone who had just worked all their lives, overworked, and then got to that point of not even being able to enjoy their later years, and their time after retirement. And then it also sparked again that whole dialogue that I'm always having about women's health, and particularly our roles inside of many diverse spaces, starting with the household. And that's where we start to feel guilt. You don't wanna. You decide you're not cooking on a Sunday. You're the worst mother, wife. You're the baddest neighbor because the neighbor is smelling your pot like you're going out, like you're going away. And that's where it starts. So it starts where you feel so conditioned that you have to do certain things at home. And then, of course, it filters into the community, the society, the workplace. And one of the things that I will often ask, especially women and families as well, sometimes I even get so feisty, sometimes I ask the husbands or the children, what do you consider as self care? And it's because, we always think of self care only in one dimension, but it's so very broad spectrum. Self care is not just going to the spa and getting your nails done or getting a massage. It really starts with that sense of comfort and ease. And a lot of times that comfort and ease does not exist. So it really it sparks a lot of conversation, especially socioculturally, where we sit in the Caribbean. You have certain traditions that you feel you must do this and you have to do that, and this day I have to do this, and we have this lineup of days and dates and what it means in terms of, okay, on Monday I'm going to cook this, and on Tuesday so, and then we get into that routine, and it's almost like we're on a hamster wheel all the time. And then when it comes to self care, we often sit back and say, well, at 10 o'clock, my routine is always that I have to prepare this for this one or do this for this one. And we're always in caregiving mode, whether we in the workplace, whether we at home, whether we going down the street and we see someone, and it's just our nature, right? But I have often asked, and I'm going to ask, and I'm going to just, throw this out now. Do we feel guilty, and are we supposed to continue feeling guilty about self-care? And I want women to weigh in. I know we get an amazing set of men calling in, and I hope they call too, but I want women to feel okay to call in and talk about this. It's a tough conversation, but let's start it.
Okay. All right. So that call is out. Women in particular, and men, of course, you can chime in. Should women feel guilty about the self-care? All right. So let's hear from Dianna while we wait for maybe persons to call.
I would definitely say no. You should not. Well, nobody should feel guilty about self-care, but especially our women, they should not feel guilty about self-care. Nicole just listed some of the reasons why women often feel guilty. We have been told that I should say we've been brainwashed into believing that we're supposed to carry this load and we're supposed to make it look so good, no matter how heavy it is. You just keep smiling and you just keep pushing because as a woman, that's what you're supposed to do. And a lot of women would be struggling and suffering in silence and not say anything because of that guilt. Because when you open your mouth, oh, but you're a mother, you're expected to do this, and you're a wife, what you expect to do as the wife, and the minute you express those feelings of you're feeling overwhelming or you want a break from things, you're made out to look like this bad person. Not too long ago, I ended up in this conversation with a woman who's married, and I can't even remember how the conversation started, but she started talking about how sometimes she wouldn't cook all this big set of fancy thing on a Sunday. But it wasn't always like this. There was a time when she thought that she had to, and she would go around trying to make sure that she could cook all this, and always, even if she's tired and she can't make it, hustling to make sure the house is clean and all of that. It's just her and her husband, and it was such a great thing for her to explain it to us, for us to realize that she has such an amazing husband who would let her know, hello, sis, what are you doing about this? Who coming in? Like, you don't gotta be running yourself to the ground, making sure you iron him, making sure you fold the clothes, making sure this is just us. Like, chill, I was so pleased to hear that she has a man like that who could understand because somebody else would be like, well, you're the woman, you're supposed to do this. And not understanding that women get tired and sometimes they don't play our tiredness. They don't play our pain in all aspects of our lives. Oh, you're meant to take it, so take it. But it's just the life we live as women. Yeah.
Okay. So okay, so I see Joshua's calling, so let's take that call and then we will continue. Joshua, good morning. Nicole, she's you.
I'm not hearing.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Joshua. All right. Rajiv, 1 second, please.
Okay, you all could translate for me in the meantime, or you could see what Joshua said, because it's always nice to hear from Joshua.
He's in your treasure, in essence. Right? He said that we should be happy to have you and that you are a treasure.
Thank you, Joshua.
He got a picture from his niece, and you were in the picture as it relates to women's impact.
Sorry, tell me again.
He said he got a picture from his Ghanaian niece, and you were in the picture. It was something to do with women's impact.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take the other call that's coming in, and we
Oh,
would
yes.
see if she's able to hear now. All right. So, Kojo, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. I don't knock man so it's a man, it's woman that spoil man like that.
Nick, wait, hold on before you go further. Hold a second. Nicole, are you hearing him?
I'm hearing
All right.
now.
All right, let me see how they say going. Continue, Kojo.
Boss, it's easy to please a man. Me, like, take for instance, if I come home and I ain't see no food on no table and nothing like that, I cook it.
Hmm.
But if woman tell one stay out the kitchen, the man stay out the kitchen. So when she tired, she have to say, think people don't man have no problem going in the kitchen and cooking. No. Seriously, man don't have a problem, but we were
You,
taught not
you,
to go in the
you
kitchen.
mean the men that you know?
We want to do a poll on this. This is a nice
I know,
poll.
right?
Yeah,
I
it's a
know,
poll.
right?
It's a good idea for a poll. I want to, but
No,
I'll tell you, I know quite a few of them, eh?
Hmm.
man, seriously, a lot of man don't have no problem going in the kitchen. But we were taught, even our mother too, your mother will call the ladies and the girls in the kitchen, come learn how to cook because you have to cook for your
Yeah,
husband.
right.
They
That's where
don't,
it starts. So Kojo,
they don't,
there's the continuation there. So when you become an adult, that is the lesson that you were taught. That was what was put into your head, that you're supposed to be this way for a man. So it's not exactly when you say is the woman don't want, or some of us, we don't even realize that we were conditioned, we were programmed to be this way, to believe that we're supposed to be
but,
doing all of this, and the man
but,
just
I'm,
live his
but,
best
I'm,
life.
but I'm saying, so who do the conditioning? Not the mother?
Both men and women.
I think there's an expectation by men sometimes, not just on the part of us as women, but there's an expectation. Many men want a replacement of their mother who did everything, and we ain't about that.
And that's what I'm saying is the mother teaches the boy how to live with a woman.
Hmm.
So what about
A man teaches his daughter how to live with a man. If he truly teaching his daughter how to live, he will teach her what is expected of her from a man. So it's the same for a boy. The teaching when you didn't come with a manual, so when you look to the manual, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, blah, blah. So if the teaching doesn't come from the adult who is ahead of you, it's gone. It's the same with children who don't take heeding from the parents. If the parents leave them let them run around wild, when they get adults, you think you could change it, whatever. Well, the old time saying, bend the tree while it's young, so it won't depart. It's the same with the cooking. If my mother teach it, I learned to cook because my mother told me that I had to cook. She said she don't, when my mother tell me, she tell me the opposite. She said she don't want a woman make no style for me.
Okay.
So learn to cook, learn to wash. So any woman who say, oh, me vex with you, me not cook for you. You cook for yourself. And I learned that from early. I know how to cook. All my mother boy children them learn how to cook. So you have to go from the base. All right.
All right. Thanks, Kojo.
What Kojo's saying is true. Thank you. In terms of starting in the household. And I understand because many, particularly Caribbean men will tell you, I could wash, starch, and iron. And sometimes they stop right there. And then some will say, and I could cook. But there is that, that notion that we have to start from the household saying, look, there are no roles. But long ago, of course, the girls did the dishes, the boys went out and did the harder things, or the perceive it, those things that were perceived as harder. But it's really time to also condition people, even in adulthood, and I keep saying to people, it's okay to start bending that tree when it all, sometimes you might have put a bit of a stake to it and use some rope and, and really just get it reconditioned, rethinking, what we do, how we do it. And specifically around especially things like agency, who we are, what we're doing, why we're doing it. Do we have to do it? Can we say no today? Sometimes we just don't appreciate our own agency and we don't feel that saying no is going to give us brownie points. So we say yes, so we give in. Stop, pause. I encourage women especially to pause. And when we're feeling guilty, there's an important need there to rewire our whole process of thinking that we have to do this and we have to do it today. I'll tell you something. You see leftovers, especially stale pilau. I don't know about all you, but there's a beauty in leftovers.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
As somebody said, they eat a pillow 2 days after.
And that's when it's better, you know. I call it still
Mm.
out. When you eat pilau 10 days later, it's a still out. But it's so
Mm.
good. And you slice up that avocado, and even if the meat run out, you enjoy it. And we have to embrace that sense of not being pressed and pressured to conform to what society says. Because
Mhm.
society says the woman has to show up at work and then show up in the house and then show up in the kitchen and then still show up outside in the yard, you know. And we have to build that agency. We have to say sometimes we need to pause to recover.
Mhm. Yeah, I think sometimes persons might want to look at it as you being selfish or self-centered, but self-care is important because the expression that you can't pour from an empty cup is very much applicable in that persons are not going to get the best of you. Your spouse or your partner is not going to get the best of you. Your children aren't going to get the best of you if you are constantly in a state of being tired, right? And I'm listening to the men in particular, and a friend here is saying that he would help us in the kitchen when cooking food or do it himself, helping out in the kitchen, whether it's washing dishes, peeling or cutting vegetables, right? And as a thing, when a woman gets married, as far as the Bible says something about a helpmate, about the woman becoming his
Helpmeet.
his helpmate.
Helpmeet, yeah.
Right. So the thing of it
Helpmate
is
or
that
something.
you're supposed to be helping each other. And I don't know why it is. So yes, I understand that tradition and society has this expectation or these gender roles assigned to individuals in that the woman would get up, wash, cook and clean and do everything, especially on a Saturday morning while the man just sit down and watch football. Listen, any man of mine, I washing, cooking, and cleaning a whole Saturday morning, all you doing sitting down and watching football, I will pack up myself right next to you. Because the thing of it is that I can't see you there relaxing and what is I supposed to be doing? Doing everything else inside the house? No. Right? So the thing of it is that you have to be each other's helpmate. Nobody is supposed to feel as if they're overburdened. Nobody's supposed to feel as if they're overworked. And one of the other things too is that I remember a man telling me this once where he could tell when his wife fell out of love with him. Guess why?
His actual action.
The food started to taste different. Right? Because she was no longer cooking with love.
With
She was
love and
just
passion.
cooking because the food needed to be prepared. But in terms of the way in which she would probably, I don't know, throw extra this or extra that in it, he could tell the difference by eating that they were having problems in their relationship, right? So even sometimes in these little things, we have to look at that. And I don't think you should feel guilty about it. I remember even up to this week, I put a post on my WhatsApp. So, and Banu, I tend to buy food a lot, right? Not to say that I can't cook, but I tend to buy food a lot. And a friend of mine commented, go cook. So I say cooking still in, right? Of course, I'm joking around with that part, but I asked if cooking is still in. And then he said something to the effect of, this is how you're going to end up getting both. And I said, listen to me. I could be covered in gold, or I could be doing everything inside of the house, and I will still get a boat.
Yes.
So I don't want for women to have this thing thinking that you are going to be doing everything for this man,
That is it.
and that he is going to stay faithful. If a
So
man
it
is
becomes conditional.
going to cheat, right? So, as women, you have to look out for yourself sometimes. I know people don't like to hear, especially us younger women speaking in terms of this as more men, because they think that, we're influencing other women to not be this way or not be that way. But ask your mothers if they were tired. Ask their
A
mothers
lot of them were, and they were unhappy.
Correct.
But they were just saving face for the relationship and all these things. And it's just that women are now coming to realize, of course, we have a bigger platform now where we could communicate with each other worldwide. And so we're talking and we are realizing and we're learning, listen, we ain't putting up with that. No, thank you. So you could go right ahead with that.
And sometimes tiredness is actually it's glorified.
Yeah, let's call Nicole and then we would wrap up. Hi, Mr. Mason.
Yes, it's Mr. Mason here again. I think my wife had the best man in the world.
How is your son? Your son of age? My age?
Pardon?
Is your son of my age?
Now, you remember some time ago I told you my mom died when I was young and I had to take care of my sister, yeah?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So from there, I mean, when my mom was in the kitchen, whatever she was doing, I looked at her. The cleaning fish, I looked at her. And I grew up washing. You know, I don't know, when women used to wash, you hear the hand go tip, 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 tip. I trained myself to do that.
The scoops go,
So I
sorry.
wash, I cook, I iron. My wife is a nurse, and I will iron her uniform. I clean her shoes. I clean my children's shoes. I put them down there. And a woman should take care of themselves. And a man should definitely allow that woman to look after herself. And he will be happy. She will be happy. The family happy. You know.
Correct.
So I don't know. My wife asked any woman who looking for a nice man now and they get me, they'll have a nice man. All right. Good day.
Am I passing at you today?
Hear the plug, the boy. Hear the plug.
Am I passing at you today? All right. All right. Thanks, Mr. Mason.
Okay.
All right. So we have another caller. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Liz. Could I speak to you up here, please?
Oh, that would have to be after 10 when we get off shift.
Who am I speaking to?
Okay, so you're speaking to Roleza.
Oh, morning, Lisa. My name is Lazy Gypsy. Well, I want to tell you, I don't want people to hear it on air. I call after, what time to call?
Call after 10. 457-9994.
Yeah, I have you right here. Roleza, good day to you. My name is Lady Gypsy.
Okay, all right, Lady Gypsy. All right, so we will talk after, okay?
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right. Not Joshua putting in a plug there for his son.
He's always doing that. I wonder how your son feels about that, Joshua. You're always putting him up. How does he feel? We'd like to hear from him.
All right, so let's wrap up. Any final thoughts from anyone?
You know, when I was living on my own, I found myself making a fuss over this whole Sunday lunch thing. You know, we have this set of unhealthy concoction that we call Sunday lunch, right? And I found myself thinking every time, like, it was so automatic for me, thinking I need to cook something decent or something special on a Sunday. And I just, at one point I said, Dianna, who tell you have to do that? Listen, I now take pleasure on the days when I do something like I would eat cricks and milk on a Sunday and I would feel so good. I'd be like, yes, this is my rebellion. Watch me, world. I'm eating cricks and milk. No big Sunday lunch. Bite me.
Yeah, and I think that is the thing. I think that is the thing where, all right, so we have another call. So before we head on out, hi, caller, good morning.
Good morning, Roleza. How are you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
Good morning, sister. It's Trin and Dianna.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Such an interesting topic. I pray that the men them especially are listening, because some men believe that they have I don't want to use that word. They have somebody should provide for them or do everything for them at all times, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my wife and I would go to the grocery, and from the grocery to the kitchen, step by step, Shane, I would do. There are times I would take the clothes and put them in the laundry. Do them. A woman is not there to do everything. Some men probably believe their wife or loved one should even cut the nails for them. You know, the more you assist your wife would love you more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the more you help her do, as one of the callers said earlier, somebody stated that I feel like the food stop cook with love. You would find more love in your food once you do the right thing by helping her. That's all I gotta say. And you guys should have more of this topic, especially the young men today, especially the younger men today. And Roleza and Sister Diana, I have a topic probably I'll call tomorrow and try to talk to you guys about it. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Or you could send it on your
So all the
WhatsApp.
best.
You could send it on your WhatsApp and what you want the title or the subject to be, and we could see how best we could explore it. Okay?
All
All
right. Take
right.
it easy.
You as well. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. All right.
My
So,
final thing,
uh-huh.
one of the frustrating things for me as a woman with this, where some men expect women to do all these set of things and to clean up behind them, is that some of them take this to the workplace, and I've had instances of walking in different places with men where they have this attitude, and you as a woman, you're supposed to be there picking up behind them. In some cases you don't want to, but because of the nature of the job, you just have to, right? So if you're walking in a place where you need to keep the space clean, you could be you would be behind the men. Listen, pack up, don't leave that there, wipe up this, oh my gosh, move this, oh my gosh, wash this, please, why do you have it like this? They just don't care. It just does not faze them. And eventually, in some instances, you just have to just do it.
You know what I could never understand? Leaving where's in the it's in the staff sink.
Like at work, like, who's supposed to wash
No,
it?
you're right. I'm there like who's supposed to wash it and throw it? Like you leaving stuff in the staff sink? Like
Put a sign on the over the sink.
yeah, but Nicole, you see, this is my problem.
And
Why do you have
And
to
that's
adults
what
for
we're
these things?
supposed to do. We shouldn't have to put a sign. We shouldn't
Correct.
have to put a
Correct.
But that's what I talk about when I say training and conditioning. Sometimes you have to start with the sign. And when we move the sign, if something changes when we move the sign, put it back. And I love social experiments. I think a social experiment with humanity, not just men and women, not just an agenda dialogue, but I think social experiments are very, very teaching. And it also gives us a chance to do new things, to reprogram people, to reprogram behaviors. And behavior is important. Behavior is really a part of this dialogue that we're talking about. So I am looking forward to this. I don't know if we set up, folks, that this is going to happen on a Wednesday, every Wednesday at this time.
Around this time, yes. Right? Gender inclusive topics. So yes. All right.
Me again. Sorry, and this is not from me. Sorry, but a listener, it's a guy, so I want to read what he says here. He says, we also grow and learn. We can grow and realize what we were taught to do is wrong. Also, time and things change. Women aren't home alone now. They're working like us, so traditional roles have to change. So if we both go out and work 8 hours, I can't expect my wife to come home to cook and clean. And, yeah.
Yeah, right. Agreed.
So if she cooks, I clean or something like that. Wonderful.
Win-win.
Carry home food. Listen, I just be satisfied with eating cricks and butter and juice.
Cricks and milk.
I actually had a friend and her husband like that. She's like, if she doesn't feel like cooking, her husband will be just fine with them eating cricks and bread and butter. And I was like, big up you.
Can I just tell all about the time I made pilau on Christmas Day?
Oh, I did that. So I did that once, I did that Christmas 2017. That's what I did. Pilau on Christmas Day.
Christmas 2001. Pilau.
So it had to go sometime. So it had to go. All right. All right. And with that, we are heading on out of this segment, and we'll be back with more talk time at 9:20.